Thank you very much, gentlemen. Phoenix1 off to the races here with a 2-0. Both of our series tonight being 2-0. They're trying to get us out of here quickly this evening. But for Phoenix1, again, it was kind of what seemed to be a greater understanding of the macro game that let them ultimately take this game over an Echo Fox that was securing a lot of kills very early on.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, great team fighting as well. You know, these guys still do have some bumps they have to iron out. Their team fighting was solid. You can see the individual skill really shining through for Phoenix1 this game. Even up against Echo Fox on a lot of comfort picks, they still looked good. Yeah, well, you mentioned comfort picks, and then, of course, the team fighting that came along with it. Let's go ahead and look at that champion slide, because we got Looper on his championship skin in Singe. That's a comfort pick. Anivia, comfort pick there. Ashe, the more utility-type ADC for Keith, and then the Thresh that was banned in the prior game against Gate. Boom, they've got a lot of picks they clearly won. Yeah, they definitely did, and Acadian gets to go back to the Rek'Sai, something that every pro jungler is going to be comfortable on, so they really did draft for comfort this time, and I think that kind of speaks to, hey, they're still getting some early season jitters out of the way. They're still not fully together as a team. So draft what you're comfortable with and try to go with that. And it was working out for them pretty early in the game. But I do think that's where then, of course, we saw things fall apart with the superior team fighting comp coming out of Phoenix1 here. If the Orianna shockwave hits, then, of course, it can spell disaster for that Echo Fox lineup. I want to jump to our first replay, though, which is in the the bot lane. This is going to go in favor of Echo Fox off of P1 aggression. Yeah, and I mean, they're trying to go for this dive here. Nori does get the execute, but Singed with the TP very early on that for Looper. The whole team is able to come in, and they are able to clean a lot of this up. And honestly, this is pretty aggressive for P1 going that far. Zig taking so much turret damage, and the whole team is kind of getting chunked out here. They stick around way too long. Acadian's able to get in, Gate's able to get in, landing some really nice CC there. Froggen's protected in his egg, and they're able to kind of clean up that fight. Yeah, it was a super good recovery out of Echo Fox there, but this does kind of illustrate some of the same issues that they had last year. They're able to pick up kills, and clearly within small microcosms able to operate as a team at a high level, but it is seemingly in the more strategic elements where we see things still falling apart and where Phoenix1 came out on top. We're going to get back to some analysis, but before we do, we're going to toss it down to an interview with one of our winners.
Thank you very much, Dash. I am here with Inori, one of the returning members of Phoenix1. Congratulations, first of all, on the 2-0.
Well, thank you.
All right, so I want to talk to you about the new lineup coming together, right? Phoenix1 had a very rough start to summer. You weren't even allowed in the lineup for a little while. You finally come in. You sort of barely avoid relegation. Now you're back at full power at the very start. So now, rising from the ashes, how high is Phoenix1 going to go?
I mean, I think the finals are in Vancouver, and that's like my hometown. So, like, my goal right now is just to go to the finals. So I think P1 can go to the finals, because I really hope we can go to the finals. I think we're a good team, and I think we're going to keep improving.
So speaking of being a good team, we had an interview earlier on with TSM's owner Reginald, and he said basically that he doesn't really believe in importing a bunch of Koreans, that, you know, playing a mixed language team is very difficult. He called out Team Dignitas as being a bottom 5 team because of this. What's your experience been like playing with Arrow and Ryu, 2 Korean players, and how that gelling has kind of gone?
I think the game is shifting into like a big team and like team synergy thing. So I definitely think communication is a huge part. That's why I think when you're importing Koreans, you have to find ones that actually know some English. Like, not knowing the basic like terminology is a big thing. So I think we got lucky because Ryu went to EU for 2 years or something, like 1 year and a half, and he learned like pretty fluent English. Like, he shot calls, and the funniest part is because like he went in EU, so he has like an EU accent. So like that caught me off guard to see like a Korean speaking in English was like an EU accent. But yeah, he's like such a lovable guy, and Arrow too is improving his English, and he can, yeah, I think we got lucky with our Koreans, but I think Reginald's statement is kind of true because communication is a big part.
Definitely. So talking about other parts of this game, I don't know if you heard it, but we had a couple interviews with Acadian that we had taped before coming into this match, and he was talking some smack about you. Actually, I think he called you overrated. He said you can only play from ahead, that you cheese people, but you're overall a bad jungler. What do you feel about, is there an Inori Acadian rivalry? Is this something you care about at all?
I'm happy he gets a chance to play in LCS, but I think talk is just talk. Like, when you play on stage is where it really matters. I don't think you need to like shit talk. You just, like, I want to be a player who can be more respected and inspire people to be more humble. Like, that's my new approach this season, because I want people, I don't want to be another toxic jungler. I think NA has a bit too many toxic junglers, so I don't want to join into that.
NA has too many toxic junglers, and Inori's going to clean up the jungle and Make it great again. Inori, thank you very much. Congratulations on the win, and we'll see you playing tomorrow, I believe it is. Thanks very much. Back to the analysts.
Thank you, Freak. The confidence that we've come to know and love out of Inori, but also, you know, a few humbling moments there talking about, you know, bringing in the Koreans and having to overcome that communication gap, but says that they're equipped well with the two that they have and their understanding of the English language so far.
Yeah, and I think it is very, very important. If you can't communicate the basics, especially in like high intensity situations, aka League of Legends team fights, then you're gonna struggle, right? Yeah. And I think that they at least have the basics and the right attitude. Like Inori's talking about, you know, his teammates coming in, they want to learn, they want to improve, and if you're working together as a squad, then having these really talented Korean players can benefit.
Yeah, and here on day one, they even had a couple team fights that looked to be very in sync. The game-winning team fight, essentially, here that we're going to pull up. This is around the Dragon Pit, will eventually net them a Baron and all, but Ryu coming off big.
And I mean, this is a great start, right? Arrow gets stunned, Arrow gets hooked, and then the shockwave turns the whole fight around from Ryu. He nails it. The resets start coming out from Inori. They're able to jump around and really just turn around what should have been a bad fight for them. You know, it's not that often that your Varus gets stunned into a hook and then you win the fight,
and
right?
Yeah, it lives, right? But of course, Inori with that nice flank positioning there was able to disrupt Echo Fox's team fight. Player of the game, though, going to go to Ryu for big shockwaves like that. Of course, his scoreline here, you see deathless, so a great start to him here in the North American LCS.
Yeah, I mean, he put up big damage, he played safe, never died, and really that was the fight that kind of broke the camel's back. Echo Fox was looking good throughout the game. That shockwave turned around, got them Baron, and really got them the win.
Now, of course, this is only week one. We've heard some big talk between these junglers. We're here to Nori say it's all about what you do on the stage. How did you feel he individually did today?
Hey, I think he did great. He had a bit of a slow start on the Rengar, but he really did shine through in the later stages of the game. He also did look solid on the Kazakhs, but some props has to go over to Acadian. You know, his debut was not bad whatsoever. He had good starts. He really did give Froggen in game one, especially the chances to carry the game. He wasn't able to convert, but he has a solid performance too.
I think that's the biggest thing to know. We saw that video package of him earlier in the day where he's talking about for him, he wants to come into the LCS and maintain his aggressive play style. Yeah. He did that, right? Whether they win or lose today, and loss was the result. He was aggressive. He got those early first bloods. Now it's about learning how to convert those first bloods and those early kills into victories. Now, there's not much to look at, but let's go ahead and check out the standings. In case you missed tonight's results, Cloud9 and Phoenix1, they're going to start the season with wins under their belt, alone at the top. But the weekend is just getting started, so they won't be alone for long. Tomorrow we have 4 matches across both streams, starting with CLG versus Team Liquid on NALCS 1, followed by Envy versus newcomers FlyQuest. And over in the Battle Theater, Echo Fox will play against Immortals in the first match, followed by the return of Dignitas as they face off against Phoenix1.
Yeah, I think the Phoenix1 and the Echo Fox match, these are really going to be big ones. How good is Echo Fox? And really, I think Dignitas, their first test against Phoenix1, they look good. I think Dignitas, despite what Reggie says, has a lot of potential.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, I mean, in spite of what Reginald said, I'm very excited for this team. That it's an old organization that we know and love here in the NALCS, and they're back, but with a totally different roster. We got some big ticket players on that squad, so we'll see how they perform. That is going to conclude our first day of the 2017 season, but it all starts here. So now for myself, the casters, and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. So I'm going to ask you to join me in welcoming our defending champions, TSM! Gentlemen, if you would do the honor in helping us commemorate your 4th NALCS title.
And he's up 100 over Biofrost. So the golden, look at that contracts! He's gonna get a first blood!
Enemy finish? No, they didn't finish. Did not finish. I'm talking to you. I heard you contract. I'm okay.
Venom the Haunter as well. Here comes the attempt to steal. Who's it gonna be? Nice kick out. He flashes. He gets Baron steals the Baron. Now the fight is on. Yes, they'll get the kill, but that is so worth it in every possible way for TSM. Now it's up for Smoother to keep them alive. Voldy's gonna tag onto 4. They caught Biofrost. Down goes the TSM support. Hook into the back line. Zirk's gotta be careful on this one. Pops the ulti. A little for Jensen. Redemption. Now it's 3 for him. Impact still alive in the front line. Refused to go down. It's Cloud9. 2-0 over TSM.
Welcome to the LCS, Looper.
Huh?
Welcome.
Yes. Yes. Because this is Acadian, the rookie. Dynamic play. Going in, Ryu does get a great fight, but it's not enough. Still knocked up. And there's first blood for Rek'Sai. Needs to go back in, but gets himself exhausted. Keith goes down as Anori. Not able to take him down. Ryu just launches himself into the team. Arrow's going to get the shutdown, and P1 looking to clean up the team fight. And P1's going to go move back in, but Looper wants back in. Arcadia moves in. Bouncy Castle, triple play. Going to turn it all around.
Ash. Okay. Anivia.
Rek'Sai?
Rek'Sai, no flash.
Oh, nice. You live.
Come in.
Oh my god. Hey, how'd that fight even? Good shit.
Phoenix1 sweep through Echo Fox for their first game of the year.